Hey, hey. Let's see. Done it. Let's see.
Oh, oh,
How many times?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't know. This retrograde is ramping with us, man.
No, that was a whole hullabaloo just to get on the live. Like, what was going on? That's like what? This is like the fourth attempt or something.
Nah, this is, you know what? I'm not surprised. But sometimes when you see things so, like it's in your face, it's just like, okay, cool. I see it. I see it. I see it. I understand. But it's in your face. It's not been playing with us. So.
Sure. And you know what? Yeah, I'm just glad that we can just say this. This is going to be our we're going to try and make it quite quick today.
Mhm.
Time permitting, we've got other things to do. So, hey guys, it's people coming in
Hey,
slowly
everyone.
but surely. At least it be recorded. So, as ever, Daryl and I are back. Yeah, like we never left out here. Yeah,
Done now.
so you get me. So yeah, it's about us doing our tarot forecasts. We're gonna try and keep them up weekly. We'll work it out. We'll let you know whatever because we're going by rhythm. So however the rhythm goes, we'll let you know in advance so you can keep rolling with us. So without any further ado, anyway, how you doing, Daryl? Before we go on, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm in a really good space. I'm in such a good space. I'm at that stage where I'm like, I need to control myself because of the abundance that's around me right now. So I'm trying to
Ooh.
keep disciplined and not lose the drive because you're like, I've got enough, a little bit more. I'm like, okay, keep the drive to keep it coming through.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that energy. I absolutely love that energy. Okay. Abundance. Well, and do you know what it is? It's about the balance of it, isn't it? Trying to not go
Hmm.
too far and not too far to the left. It's a
Hmm.
fine balance, this thing, because obviously with abundance comes responsibility as well, with what to do with it, how
Hmm.
to manage it, not to turn crazy with the power, so it's a lot of stuff.
That is it. That is it. That is it. Do you know what I mean? And when you see the week, it really is poised for it as well to kind of show you or show us that balance that we need. So yeah, I always like fun moods. I love them.
Let's go. Okay, well, let's go into the tarot and let's see.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pull an oracle and see what the themes that are going on with the collective. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what they are pointing to us. Huh. So some solitude time, thinking, some time to get yourself
Mhm.
in motion, what you're gonna do. This is a perfect time to be like, right, what do I want to do? I'm gonna sit myself down, maybe have a cuppa. You don't have a cup of tea, maybe some water. Whatever it is, just to take a stop. Because solitude talks about just some alone time, mental time to really decide what's going on. And this is a time where you can get to cut out all the BS. When you're in solitude mode, it's really, really poignant how much you can see. When you're rushing about, you've got your day-to-day things going on. When you actually sit back, even if it's for 10 minutes, and just have a session where it's all about, right, what am I doing? Clearing my mind. You'll be surprised the messages that come to you, the pictures that come
Mhm.
into your mind, the
Mhm.
epiphanies, the ideas. We'll talk about that. Divine intervention is on point. So with everything that you're doing right now, start to focus more inward. Focus more inward because it's going to give you much more energy to propel. Because the amount of stuff that's about to start coming, you need this quiet time for the moment. Because when it
Mhm.
starts going off, you're going to be like, I need a time to sit down. Take the time to sit down right now, formulate what you're going to do it in a steady order, and just allow yourself to move. Because this time allows for epiphanies to just keep rolling in authentically, organically. This is nothing that you're going to be forcing. This is not, right, I need to come up with a great plan right now. That's not the energy. The energy is to relax and to let it flow because it's already there. It's innate. Let's find out what else is going on around this solitude. I'm going to go into the tarot. I'm not going to go and pick 1,000,001 cards. We're going to keep it quite short and short and sweet, and all these things. Right, so let's find out what's going on with this solitude energy. What is meant to be done within this energy? That creative endeavor. So the King of Cups here. So we're dealing with our emotions. We're dealing with balancing that emotions, trying to balance our creativity at the same time, to let our emotions take over so that we're not able to express ourselves fully. Sometimes we can move from left to right of our emotions and then sort of miss the facts in the situation. Look at the facts of the situation and not necessarily about how it's making you feel. That way you can differentiate what's actually happening and what's actually going on within you energetically. There's two things going on. It's not just the one. And sometimes we can just be feeling about the emotion, but not looking at the facts. What is the facts telling us? What is the, what are the messages that are being told to us? If someone let you down, does that mean you need to stop waiting upon people and do what you have to do for yourself? You get me? Is that the lesson? Is the lesson to get up and do it for yourself first? Be the example. Do not wait. And there's a lot of things going on in the energy, but it's definitely about the creative pulling as well, which I'm really, really happy to see, because with creativity is where all the majesty and all of the magical stuff that actually happens. This is where we start to be like, oh, I'm a conduit. Things happen through me. I'm magical. Your hands start itching. You feel like, oh, like that abundance energy that we were talking about. So there is going to be a move towards lots of things happening, abundance, opportunities, and it's about catching the wave when the wave is. It's not about, straggling on and waiting for things to happen. Just take your time. You'll feel it. The point of it is feeling it. It's the intuition. It's about trusting that. And we've got the lovers coming up. Lovers, people, lovers. So within this season, take some time out. It might mean that you might need some alone time with your partner. Maybe this is a time to reconnect. Take some time to actually go into one another, And lovers talks about decisions. What are you willing to put to the forefront? So it's all about putting things in its place, where things go. And it goes back to that solitude again. Where do things go? Why do I want to do it? What makes me feel good? What's going to be the best for our connection? And our partnerships, because lovers speak about our partnerships and our decision makings. What do you really want to be in this scenario, within this situation, with these types of people? These are the questions. This is the question. Am I happy here? Am I getting the best out of this situation? Am I getting a good deal? Am I getting a good deal out of this? These are the things that you need to take your time and answer within this time of solitude. Let's see, one other card and one other, and then we could. Oh, we've got the sun, sunshine. Hey, I love it. So we've got the sun card. So we know we're moving towards some absolutely beautiful energy. The sun is like one of the most positive cards in the deck. This talks about our wish fulfillment, fruitfulness. It talks about things coming into fruition, letting our inner light shine. Not being, unapologetic about how you're showing up, being bright and bold. So you're moving to that stage where it's like, the business, what everyone else is on. What I'm on is this. This is what's suiting me. This is what's giving me the extra vigor. This is what's giving me the pep in my step, as it were, and that's what we're moving towards. So that although some of us are still within this shadow season, still dealing with a lot of stuff that's coming up energetically and emotionally. That's why the King of Cups is here as well. Because remember, we're talking about that energy. We're talking about our partnerships. We're talking about the emotions. So work through those things, because you're on your way to something amazing, and if things amazing are actually happening in the midst of the fog and the madness. That's why I'm talking about differentiating facts from feelings. Then you can actually look at how far you actually come and how much work you're doing to keep yourself level, and you can give yourself a pat on the back, without, okay, looks like it's buffering. Can y'all see me? Have I paused? I got the buffering on my screen. Am I back? Can you see
You're
me?
back.
Yeah, there
You're
was some
back. You're
buffering
back.
going on. I'm back. Yeah, all right, good. So, yeah, so it's all about that. So at this moment, take this time to reflect, some time for, yeah, some introspection, just a little time. Take a little time. Solitude is brilliant just to map out what you want to do. We're not talking about being a full hermit and not engaging with anyone at all. We're not talking about recluse. That's a different type of situation. Solitude is taking meaningful and purposeful times for your headspace, and then everything shall become clear, right? Balance those emotions and the creativity. Sometimes our emotions can take over so that we're not able to be as creative as we would like to be. And sometimes that's what happens to the King of Cups. He can be so focused on what's going on, being this great partner, but where's the flair? Where's the paint and the fireworks and the, like zhuzh it up a little bit. Don't forget to zhuzh things up, Don't allow the dead vibes to just mash up the vibes totally for you. There's things that can come out of it. Your partnerships and your relationships right now could do with a little pep, and I think that's why the King of Cups is here. So remember, add the little sparks, have those conversations, have that alone time, have that time for grounding and balance with all your partnerships. This is not just about romantic love. We have partnerships with everyone in different ways. Do you know what I mean? So just work out what that is, why that is it working, how is it working, how best can we get more out of it, because the opportunities are boundless. So it depends on what kind of level you want to be on, And if you're going to move with the sun energy, you're on to a winner, mate, because not only are you moving from a space where you've had that mental time, you're clear now, clarity is on point, you know what you're going to do, you've got the creative energy, you've got that energy about coming together, so it's about that collaboration, and you've got the right energy to collaborate, so use that sun energy to keep you moving. Right, so I'm going to do one what's it called, advice card, and then we're going to go to Daryl just as closing, because you know how it goes. You can't just put it like that. I want to tell me, look at that. Right, so there is peaceful resolution on its way. Any kind of odd stuff going on in the background, any beefs or discontentment is going to be sorted out, whether you decide that within this solitude time to decide what you want to do. It makes sense. So there's peaceful resolution to your emotional imbalances at the moment, to balance them out, your relationships of all kinds, and peaceful resolution. And they see the sun is here. So no worry yourself, everything all right. Yeah? All right, Daryl, over to you, my love.
Wow, sorry, do you know what? I wrote lots of notes. Whilst I was writing them, I had a quick idea. I wanted to actually match up what you were saying to what's actually happening, because
Ooh, okay.
it's just on point. So when you're talking about, the solitude card, Mercury went into retrograde on the 14th. So it is that time when you're meant to be sitting down, you're meant to be meditating. And then you've also got the full moon, which is going to be in Cancer on Monday as well at 11 p.m. So when you really go into like the solitude bit, it really makes sense when you're meant to be sitting down, taking that time to really look at what's actually important to you, and then you even went into the King of Cups and you was talking about the creative pull, looking at the facts, that's again, Mercury in retrograde, it forces you to look at what's really happening. The outside world starts to almost mess up for you. Your connection to technology, right? Because it's in Aquarius, it's saying, nope, let's remove all of that. How are you actually thinking? So that really goes well with the solitude card and then that creative pull, because at the moment, the full moon is going to be in Cancer, the sun is in Capricorn. So it's about your responsibilities versus your feelings, your family. So what it's really saying is, on the last new moon, if you set your intentions, what has really held you back when it comes to your own emotions? And we all have our vices, we don't need to go into that, but it's really looking at how do we control that and take responsibility for those emotions. So during that full moon, it would be a good time for you again to take that time of solitude to write down what are the things that I know. I don't want to tell anyone because Cancer energy is very private, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's what do I need to stop doing and redirect this energy into something that's actually going to help me, you know, when it comes to my responsibilities, maybe even my social status, you know, something that about your money, because Capricorn is about building, it's a cardinal earth sign. So it's all about, okay, what am I going to establish in this time? You know, think about the season, it's cold, you know, we're not really wanting to go out like that. It's not summer. How do we work? How do we create money when we're not being social and you know, bouncing off other people, doing a lot more connections, going to the park, you know, little things that we would do. Now it's more, what am I doing internally? How am I hustling? How am I looking after my space? And then what feelings are holding me back from doing it? Is it that, you know, that one drink at night that's not helping you, right? Is it that one spliff, you know, whatever it is? What are the things that we're doing that is stopping us from hustling at the level we need to really build what we're trying to build in this time, you know? And the good thing is that that's in the whole Capricorn season, because then we've got Uranus, which is going direct. So Uranus is about rebellion, it's about innovation, it's about, I see it as the collective mind. That's the archetype I get. You know, he was the god of the air above the Titans, you know. So it's all about how do you really think about how you sustain yourself and your body. So your eating habits, you know, these are things that are going to be changing and they have been changing, you know. So we'll look at Uranus more from a society point of view, so like a government point of view, because it's been there for a very long time, but now it's just going direct because it's been retrograde. So it's like, how do you now fit into this? We've got the rise of crypto, we've got space exploration, we've got NFTs, you know, the health industry is changing. Everything right now is changing and it's evolving. It's the foundation to the time of Aquarius. That's what's really being built right now. What are the systems that we are actually going to be used? So cryptos, digital money is going to be used in the time of Aquarius. It's here. It's here to stay. You know, people looking after their health, it's going to be here to stay. You know, McDonald's, all these other companies, they're just dying out. We're seeing the end of the battle, you know, banks fighting against cryptocurrencies and all of this right now. But when it goes direct on a personal level, it's now how do I integrate what I'm doing into these systems? You know, so how am I investing my time to understand my health better? Because the options are there. The education is now there. There's no more excuses. And you say, oh, it's expensive to learn about X. Because before it was, you know, you go back even 10 years, things were expensive. Now it's cheap, right? So it's how do I now reintegrate myself into this new society, learn, forget the old rules and learn the new ones, you know, get into cryptos, even if it's just by putting like a £10 or maybe even just £10 into education because you're not ready to invest. But wherever your interest is, it's important for you to do that. Now, it is important to know where it is in your houses. I talk a lot about money, business, because for me, it's in my sixth house, which is in Taurus. So it is very much, for me, it's very practical. But it may be just about your general interests that you're now going in. Let's say if it was in, I don't know, the third house, which is about your day-to-day communication. It could be, okay, maybe you join a group, you know, where other people are trying to better their community through, it could be through anything. They're trying to do a system. It can be cleaning rubbish. You know, people do a lot of different things. Wherever you find that in your system, you integrate yourself, and then the universe will find a way of allowing your wealth to come through that when you go into the time of Aquarius, right? But we're keeping it as a weekly reading because I can go on about the other stuff for years. But it really is that time right now where it's like, okay, how are you integrating yourself into the group, into the time of Aquarius? Because that's what it's about. And then the sun actually goes into Aquarius on January 20th as well.
Okay.
And it goes in conjunct with the Mercury retrograde. So it's a very interesting move over, because so it's like we're reviewing stuff and then the sun shines a light on it straight away, but it's only for a day because then Mercury actually goes back into Capricorn.
Oh, okay.
So the Mercury retrograde is going to go back into, okay, what you build into society is less about the group. Hopefully our technology will work a little bit better, you know, things like that. But then the sun will be shining a light on what you have been reviewing. So if you have been thinking about, you know, joining the group, improving your knowledge on something, right, and you've just been thinking about it, it's not the best time to make a decision because the retrograde is in Aquarius. But then when the retrograde comes out of Aquarius, the sun goes in and it says, okay, now let's look at where your will is. Let's really shine a light on this. And then during the retrograde, you know, you really just maybe plan, really look at it. If you have the opportunity, maybe jump in, because retrogrades can be great for that, you know, for you to find a great opportunity that you're not really thinking about. It's not a mind thing. This is more I know I want to do this. I've sat down, I've made my plan, I've reviewed everything. It makes sense. Let me do it. The sun in Aquarius will help you to do that because the sun is now shining a light on that thing that you was thinking about. Your consciousness will be drawn towards it. You'll be noticing things about it as you're going throughout your day. So it's a good time to really chime in to whatever topics those are for you. So I can't say what it will be. The likelihood is you are going to be want to do group activities. There, you're going to want to expand your knowledge. So it might be just an interest. It could be kind of weird because it is Aquarius, so it can be unique to you, and it's okay. You know, just say this is maybe I won't be able to tell anyone about this interest because it's just really weird. You know, no one else really gets me. But then find a group where you can explore that interest. This is a time when you get to know society again, but you're knowing it from a very personal point of view. You're using all of that we have now to really connect and say, this is something that I want to look at right now. It's just an interest. It's just a hobby. Find that group. No one else around me knows about it. That's no longer an excuse. Go find your group. You know, go read that book. It's infinite possibilities. And I think the wealth he was talking about with the sun is the sun going into Aquarius. I think it is the best time for individual growth because you are really going into what you find interesting at this time. Because people are at home, it's cold, most places, they're just connecting, we're just reading, we're waiting for summer. It's a good time to get into your new interest so that when the new summer comes, you have a new life. Now, where did your interest take you? Right? When the sun then goes into Aquarius, and then you have the full moon, then it'll be like, okay, where's the sun taking you these 6 months with your own individual interests? Because when it goes into Pisces, it will change. So it's a good time when the sun is there to focus on these topics. You know, last month I've been focusing on more business stuff and what I want to do for that because the sun is in Capricorn. When the sun goes into Aquarius, like, who do I connect with? Now that I've built the stuff, or I'm thinking about building the stuff, or I'm working on it right now, who am I connecting on? This is what I'm working on. This is what we're trying to manifest. So when the sun goes in Aquarius, it's groups, who you connect with, what you're learning, and just being yourself. Be unapologetically you. So yes, that's everything for this week. So yeah,
so
next
a nice
week
little nutshell right there.
Yeah. It's been good, and I like the fact that your cards are just so in alignment with it, down to the name, Sun and Aquarius, and we've got the sun. So that is it.
You get me? You just let the energy flow, you get me? And we don't pre-rehearse nothing. We just say, all right, we're going to go on today, shall we? Yeah, all right, then let's do this. And so said, so done. And that's the energy, not to push against anything, but to let it happen organically. You know what I'm saying? No stress, no, you know what I'm saying? It was all right. Do you know what I mean? But brilliant. I'm always elated when these things happen because like I say to you, like I said, we don't pre-plan. So when I'm hearing all of this, I'm doing my reading and I'm hearing things that, oh, that pertains to this. That makes sense for me personally. And then I'm listening to you and I'm like, that is mad. I was vibing on that. I'm in the right space then, or my head is in the right direction, or okay, maybe try to veer off of the, you know, the more emotional side of things and deal with the
Mhm.
facts and what I want to do. And it makes sense because it all tied in very
Mhm.
beautifully, as ever, Miss Charisca, as ever, as ever. So, do you want to tell the people about what we're planning to do moving forward as in closing?
Yes, so we're planning to do this every other week. So it'll be a bi-weekly one. We'll cover it 2 weeks at a time. Um, and we'll see where it goes from there. But at the moment, that's the plan. So we look forward to seeing everyone chime in every 2 weeks. More information to follow. We'll be sending it through to everyone on Insta as well. So yeah,
Yay! All right, well, have a good one, Daryl. Have a bliss day.
you
And
too.
everybody else, have a bliss one. And we'll see each other again soon.
Right.
Big
Bye,
up
everyone.
yourselves. Oh, you want, I will save this and then you can do the thingy bob.
Yeah, when you save it and post it, I'll tag it off.
Yeah, because I'm not the one to do it on the other side. Me and technology is already not bridging like that, and then the Mercury retrograde, nah. So yeah. All right, thank you so much.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.